Hi, Phyllis here from southernfrugal.com, and good morning. Okay, we are ready to make our smoothie this morning. Now, I've already got on my little garden outfit. You have to wear long sleeves outside and long pants in the garden because the bugs are already out, and you will get bitten if you don't. So, or either you have to spray all that DEET stuff, which we don't like to do. Anyway, so this morning I'm using, I had 2 packets left of the smoothie little packets I made up here several weeks ago. So this is second to the last one. I've got 1 more left. So anyway, we're going to use that. And the other thing we're going to use for the protein this morning, I'm going to use some of the frozen cubes of the red lentils is really what they were. And some of the Dinosaur kale. So 2 little cubes of the Dinosaur kale and 2 of the lentils. And I have got, can you see that? Let me see. Broccoli in this one too. So, and I'm also going to go ahead and use some peanut butter because we're going to be working outside today and we're going to need just as much energy as we did yesterday. So I'm going to dump that in. Let me turn it down so you can see. There. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and dump in my kale and my lentils. Go ahead and put in some of the almond milk. And this does seem to be multiplying in the packet. I can't seem to get rid of it. I'm trying to use it up, but... And I'm going to go ahead and also, this morning, put in some peanut butter too. That's probably about, what, 2 tablespoons, maybe 3 at the most. So I try to get that in the middle so it doesn't glob up on the side of the Vitamix. Okay, all right, and I know I'm going to, well, I don't know I'm going to need sweetener, so we'll just wait on that. Thawed out a couple of small bananas this morning because I think we're going to need the potassium because it's supposed to get up to 92 degrees today. So, and the humidity's already very high. So yeah, once you thaw these bananas out, they're pretty easy to come out of their little peeling. So it's still frozen right in the middle. But anyway, maybe that'll work. Alright, gotta wash my hand. Alright, so here we go. Let's see how this goes. Alright. Yeah, we're earlier this morning because we know we're going to be working outside. So, alright, here goes. Pretty thick. So let's give it a taste, make sure it's sweet enough. Yes, we've still got some frozen stuff in there. Oh, that is very good. Alright, gonna have to add a little more almond milk. Get it a little thinner. So I ran it a little bit longer this morning because I did have right much frozen stuff in there. Let me turn this around. All right. So Mr. Bucky and I were having a little discussion this morning about marriage and what happens when two people get married. How does it all work? It's not all a bed of roses, that's for sure. Here's the word, melding. That's what has to happen. When you get married, you have to meld together. And you learn to accept those things that you can't change. I know we all try to change our husbands to what we want, and they try to change us to what they want. But in the end, you find out there's some things you just can't change. You just accept that's part of that person, and you just accept it, and then you go on from there. So anyway, we were talking about that this morning. I think we might do a little video about that because he's got a lot to say about that. So anyway, our marriage, I think you could say it worked, and we're certainly very happy together, and we're also best friends. And so I know that I was doing something yesterday. Oh, I got a new cell phone, and I had to register it. And the guy wanted the password, or the little thing that you do for security. You have to give them some kind of word. And so he said, all right, well, how about the name of your best friend? And I thought, well, wait a minute. I don't really have a best friend like what he's talking about. Mr. Bucky's my best friend, and that would be too obvious if I give his name, right? So we couldn't do that. So anyway, we didn't do that. But that just shows you that you really do become best friends. And so the melding process, I think that's the right word. When that doesn't work, you end up getting a divorce because you just can't live together. And no matter how much like you're major attracted to someone, and they're so good looking, and they've got a good job, and you know, or she keeps her house real clean, and she cooks good meals, and, you still have to meld together. And I mean, no matter how perfect you think someone is, after you get married, they don't look quite so perfect, right? And I remember, I'll just give you a little incident. When we first got married, we, you know, I owned my own home then. And so Mr. Bucky moved into the home that was my home. And there was a master bedroom closet. And so he moved all his stuff in, and he was putting his shoes in the closet, but he didn't get them all in. There were 3 or 4 pair that were laid on the floor, and I came in from work, and of course, you know, first thing you do, or I would do when I got home from work, because we had to dress up at work, was change clothes and put on something comfortable. And I went in the bedroom and I tripped over his shoes. I was like, why are your shoes in the middle of the floor? You know, and so that was the first, wait a minute, we're going to have to do something different here. So anyway, that was just a real little thing, but I remember it well because I tripped, and I didn't completely fall, but I almost did. I'd never known anybody who just left their shoes in the middle of the floor. Who does that, right? He doesn't do that anymore. Well, sometimes he does, sometimes. But anyway, that's just a small example, but you really do have to accept the other person, and even though, you know, they're just super wonderful and you just love each other and all that, when you're living together, there are things that they do that you don't do, and things you do that probably irritate them. And then I know Mr. Bucky's thing a lot of times still is I have to be, he calls it, why do you have to be so exacting about everything? I don't know. I just am. I just am, and I really can't change that. I can't tolerate newspaper on the floor. You know, reading the newspaper and just throw it on the floor. Can't tolerate it. I don't like. There's just a lot of unneat things I don't like. So anyway, all right. So I was just talking through this thing so it would melt a little more. So let's just run it just a second or two more. make sure it's all kind of not going to be like ice cream. All right, here we go. All right, that ought to do it. Now, we got more than the 40 ounces this morning, but I think we're going to each drink as much as we can because we're going to need the energy today. And what I'm planning to do is get some of the grass that's already started coming up in the garden out of there before we get the rain, because it's supposed to start raining tonight, and the weatherman's saying we'll probably get a good inch of rain between tonight and tomorrow. Okay, well, it did work out okay. Yeah, it worked out. So we don't, see, all gone. All right. So let's have a little taste. I already know it's good. Yeah. Now, you can't taste the green at all, so we've got broccoli and dinosaur kale in here, but you cannot taste any of that. In fact, I can taste banana, and I'm tasting also the vanilla in the almond milk, which is good. I can't even taste the bananas this morning. All right, so we're going to go ahead and have our breakfast and our devotions, and we'll see if we can't get Mr. Bucky to talk about marriage. We'll see how that goes. If we don't do it, y'all don't blame me. I'm going to ask him. All right, we'll be back.